Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my trophy log series. This is the series where we keep track of our most prized possessions. In the last episode we managed to catch a chub trophy on Belaya River. In this episode we are heading to a new water body, but before we do that, this is the fun spot segment of the video where I try your fishing spots. Today's fun spot is on Amber Lake. It is my first time here, so let's grab a map very quickly. Since I do not have a sport rod or PVA unlocked, I will just chuck in some ground bait by hand. From this spot you can expect to catch mirror carp, common carp, odd bream, frame-sided carp and some other rare carp species. You can get a carp trophy from this spot, at least that's what I've heard from people, and they've got some pretty impressive trophies from here. After fishing here for nearly an hour, I made 369 silver, which is actually insane. That is a lot of money. This fun drink is for you, Sammy. Thanks again for all the bait donations. 35,000 hecto is just insane. And also, all of these baits, thanks. I wanted to talk to you guys about two new updates on the channel. I have created my own website for fishing adventures and fishing guides. Sometimes I do not get enough content for a video, but have enough for a fun reading. So this is where I will post all of those adventures. Please take a look and let me know what you think. The second update. I know a lot of you guys really wanted me to create Patreon, and I've actually done it. I created 3 different levels. Main things you can expect from my Patreon is access to my YouTube videos before they are live on YouTube, extra content and giveaways. I'm planning to use the money to invest back to the channel and give away some desk gear I will use in my future videos. So if you want to take part, you can join with my Patreon. Thank you very much, and this is one step closer for me to do what I really love to do. Thanks for all the support, guys. Time to spin the wheel and let's see, where will this land? And it landed on Volkhov River. Awesome. You guys might be a bit confused right now. What is going on? Dude is on Volkhov River, level 25. What's happening? Last episode he was level 26. Well, my recorder decided to record all of these files from this episode into a totally different folder, and I had no clue it did that. So I thought, hey, I lost all the clips, but actually I had them, so I found them now, and you can enjoy me fishing on Volkhov River for a new trophy. In the meanwhile, while we are going to the fishing spot, let's also try to do some spin fishing, or trolling actually, so maybe we can get something cool on the hook. I don't think I've ever caught anything with the spinning gear here on Volkhov anyways, so it would be really cool to actually get my first fish here on Volkhov. Imagine if it would be a lake trout as well. That would be extra cool. I have actually snagged into something, which is surprising because I did not think I would catch anything on the boat ride to my fishing spot, but it seems like a decent fish, and to be fair, I have absolutely no clue what it could be because I have not done any spin fishing on Volkhov River, so maybe it's one of the common species like perch, pike, or maybe a chub, but that actually looks like an asp, so we've actually caught an asp. One of the fish I do not want to catch really, but still, nice asp. And this chub is actually pretty darn big if you look at it. So 1.4 kilos, almost kilo and a half chub. The first spot of this episode I will try is at 71-100. I use clip size 16, hook size 1, bait, cottage cheese and a regular bream mix. The bream mix consists of pearl barley, maggots, millet porridge and anise oil. And this is the spot on the map. Let's bait up and put our rods into the water. I think we can get some pretty decent bream here during the daytime, but nothing too big because the trophy size bream usually comes out during the nighttime on all of the maps, at least that's my experience. But you can't forget there's always an old one out and you can be surprised by a trophy bream during the daytime as well, but it's highly unlikely. As you can see, I have a variety of rods in right now. I have my Fortuna feeder, Fortuna carp rod and the beginner feeder kit. I just wanted to test out all 3 different rods and see which one will get the most bites, if there's any difference. But as we can see, we just got a bream on our Fortuna carp rod, and that was a pretty decent bream. It was over a kilo. And now we have something on the beginner feeder rod. I did switch out the reel, I forgot to tell you guys. I just had this reel laying around so I put it on, but otherwise you could still use the beginner feeder kit reel here as well, no problem at all. But this bream is definitely not over a kilo. Looking at the textures, this has to be under, but probably pretty close to a kilo. Yeah, 973 grams, so actually not too bad. That is already worth a few silver. You really gotta love the daytime bream. Under 500 grams of the Fortuna feeder rod. Well, yeah, unfortunate, but this is probably going to be our destiny right now during the daytime. And here we go, another one. I think this is again close to a kilo. Yeah, 951 grams. Seems like over a kilo bream are not biting right now during the the daytime. Or actually, if this is a bream right now, then this is a big bream, but I don't think it is a bream, but maybe. I guess we'll see in a second. So if that's a bream, that's definitely over a kilo. And it is a bream. It's actually a fairly big bream. Let's swing it in and see. Yeah, 3.2 kilos, almost 3.3. This is a lucky catch during the daytime. But knowing my luck, I've actually been very lucky with catching bream trophies on every water body so far. So I might get a daytime bream trophy. Not even kidding. The thing is, I've had so many bream trophies on Mosquito Lake where you should not really go for a bream trophy. I also got my Oldberg bream trophy super quickly, which is extremely lucky because people usually go pretty dry on that. And this is, oh, actually 1 kilo and 1 gram. Just broke the barrier to get the new texture. That's very cool. But if you're already doing the bream talk, then the bream trophy size is 4.4 kilos and the blue tag is 7 kilos. I do not think we will get this 7 kilo bream today, but 4.4 is very, very possible. Another tiny bream. Okay, we have to skip like the next 7 to 10 hours and then we can see if we actually get any nice bream. So let's see what we'll catch during the daytime and fast forward to the nighttime. 500 grams, 400 grams, 880 grams, 950 grams. I think you also noticed that I was using a 10 kilogram 60 centimeter fluorocarbon leader before. The thing is with bream, you can use a fluorocarbon leader up to like 10 kilos. I think that will be like a reasonable leader to use. Anything over that is definitely an overkill, and I would say the best leader is probably around like 6 or 7 kilos for the best fights and to have the most fun. If you do not have the fishing tool to create your own fluorocarbon leader, then the best leader you can get from a store is most likely the 25 centimeter 7.7 kilo fluorocarbon leader. And if you don't have the fishing tool, then maybe your friend can help you out or somebody in the chat, because the 60 centimeter leader is the best for the best bite rate. As you saw, nothing special. I actually caught way more tiny bream, but I just did not feel like I should record all of that. But that is not a bream, that's an ace. That is a surprise catch for sure. But now the sun is setting, I think we can start to expect catching some way bigger bream. Can we appreciate the scenery at Volkhov River? This actually looks stunning. We have this old castle that's rotting away, this old bridge, and a nice railway on the background. Actually, there's a train moving as well. I did not even notice that before. But yeah, Volkhov River actually looks super amazing. I just got a tiny bream once again at 11 p.m. Oh, but actually, something big is on rod number 1. Let's see what this is. Maybe it's our first big bream of the evening. That would be pretty cool. Hopefully not a trophy though, because too quick, I would say. You need to grind a bit to get like a good dopamine rush, so I don't want to get the trophy too quickly. 2.1 kilos. That is actually a very nice bream. Seems like 11 p.m. is the magic number on Volkhov River at this spot, because after 11 I actually started to catch some nice bream. And we have another one on right now and something also on the beginner feeder rod. So let's see. This is 1.4 kilos and let's see what's on the other rod. I've actually kind of missed using my beginner feeder set. This is just so cool. I absolutely love this. Like, you get spooled by a 2 kilo bream, it's so much action all the time. But 1.3 kilo bream. So every bream you will catch that is over 750 grams is actually worth quite a bit of money. Everything under 750 grams is not worth anything, and you should always cut them up for fish pieces to get some fish pieces bait. So you can do burbot fishing, eel fishing, and so on. If you look at the chat box, I've been just non-stop reeling in bream after bream right now, and all of them have been marker fish, which is super awesome. 1.3 kilos and also bottom fishing percentage. We really need that. My next goal for bottom fishing is to actually get to 80% so I can unlock the spot rod for carp fishing, and if we keep getting fish like this, I don't think it will take too long to get to 80%. Okay, this is a decent bream on the Fortuna carp rod right now. 2.2 kilos. That is an awesome fish. Just some extra information why I really want to unlock the spot rod is because if you're fishing far out, you cannot reach with your groundbait balls if you just throw them. But with spot rod, you can set up a clip and actually accurately hit the spot where you're fishing at. So yeah, this is why I really want it. Another nice bream, 1.7 kilos. Ultimately, you want PVA, but that's 100% bottom fishing. I think it will take me like a few years to get there. Sun is slowly rising up, but it's only 3 a.m. right now, so I think we'll have some pretty good baits up till like 7 a.m. and then the baits will fade away and we'll start getting small bream once again. So fingers crossed, within the next 4 hours, I'll get a trophy bream. It's pretty funny that I said, hey, let's get a bream trophy within the next 4 hours. Meanwhile, I think I have one on right now, like 20 minutes later in game time. So this fish is just spooling me like there's no tomorrow. It is so cool to see. Usually when I go bottom fishing right now with my Fortuna rods, I don't get spooled almost at all unless it's like a massive carp. But this like 4 or 5 kilo bream is just doing its thing. It is just going. Oh man, if I actually got a trophy bream on the first night, actually not even like 24 hours of in-game time, I would be baffled. That is so lucky. This fight has been going on for quite a bit. And the fish is slowly getting tired, and I think we will get it in fairly soon. I have some doubts about this fish being a trophy because it got tired fairly quickly, but if it is, then hey, easy trophy. I think the fish should be on surface in a second. Moment of truth. This is not a trophy bream. What? I really thought it would be a trophy bream, but I think this one has to be close. It has to be like 3 or 4 kilos. This is like a proper chunker. This is the biggest bream I've ever caught on Volkov for sure. 4.335 kilos, so 65 grams off the trophy size. I really like how the game is trolling me all the time with this fish. Like last episode with grayling, I had like 2 graylings that were like 3.1 kilos something, not 3.2 like the trophy size. The game is like, you know, we want you to be close, but not actually get the trophy. But not to worry, I think we'll still have it fairly soon, within like 2 or 3 in-game days, because this spot is super active and I already caught a fish that's nearly a trophy. Another decent fish on the beginner feeder set. I still can't get enough of fishing with this rod. It's so much fun. As I said earlier, another big bream. Let's see how big this one is. Almost 2 kilos. That is a nice specimen. The thing is, I think we made a lot of money already. If you look at the keep net, you can see a lot of big bream. Also some tiny ones, but you know, still a lot of big bream. So we will be making a lot of money today. And the tiny bream season has started because it is 7 AM and no big bream are biting anymore. But I will still fish during the daytime just to see if I can catch anything cool. I think I've been fishing without ground bait. Yeah. I forgot to add ground bait. Don't do this, guys. You're just wasting your time. Always make sure you have ground bait on. This evening has been a lot slower, but we finally have our first decent bream on, which is very good to see. I think it might be because of the wind, because the wind is super strong, but not really sure. We have something big on, not sure if it's a bream. It is moving extremely slowly, so I have some hopes that it is a bream, but you'll never know until the fish is on the surface. Oh, it is a bream, and did you see that? That's a different texture. That is a trophy bream. We already got it on day 2 on Volkov River. That is super nice. I'm actually being extremely lucky, but I think this barely hits the trophy size because it doesn't look like extremely big. Yeah, I think this is like 4.5 kilos maybe or so. Let's see. 4.47 kilos. As I said, barely a trophy, but still a trophy. And we take those. Oh, this is awesome. We already got our first trophy. This is super. Let's take a look at the Volkov log. Yeah, another trophy added to the collection. We had a rough trophy before, and now we also have a bream trophy. This is so cool to see. For the celebration, let's make some wet bread. We still need to get wet bread to 1 million pieces. We are currently at like 120,000 or so the grind continues. After making some baits, it's time to sell our keep net and see how much this keep net is really worth. I did not sell any fish before, so this is like hour and a half of fishing over here on Volkov. You know, daytime fishing, it really doesn't count because you don't catch almost anything except super tiny bream. But the keep net is worth 266 silver, which is very good to see. This bream is worth quite a big chunk of it, but even if you fish here and you don't get a trophy, this still is very good money. To celebrate the trophy, let's get some random baits. Let's get some worms, some cabbage leaves, wheat seeds, these odd named creatures, and warble flies. I really want to start collecting more and more baits and spending my money on this, so this is a good start for this episode, I think. Thank you guys for watching, take care, bye bye.